Today, at the end of our hope, the edge of our time, we have chosen to look at each other and face the monsters that are at our door. Today, we are canceling the apocalypse. Hello, welcome to the Cutting Edge Review, and I am your reviewer. And today I decided, since we're going to have Pacific Rim 2 at sometime in the future, and I totally love this movie, I would review it. My DVD review on Pacific Rim. Yeah, check it out, man. See? I'm talking about this movie. And I'm going to be talking about all some of the actors that came on this movie, and I'll let you guys know if I don't know too many of them, but a lot of these people are actually on the rise right now, like Idris Elba, Charlie Hunnam, Charlie Day, and there is one that I knew who I knew already, Ron Perlman. If you guys know him, he's probably his most famous movie is Hellboy, and this movie is directed by you can say this right, Guillermo del Toro, the guy who brought you Hellboy. Wow, the guy who brought you, who helped you with Blade 2. This guy made probably one of the most memorable movies of all time right now, in my estimation. And let's get into the story. The story is about a rift inside, deep between the Pacific Ocean, a tectonic plate, and somehow it's like between dimensions. And what happens? We have an alien attack, not from the sky, not from another planet, but from deep Pacific Ocean. Native life came to a world that's deep Pacific Ocean. And this movie starts out with just pure action, man, pure awesomeness. And that first kaiju, the hit San Francisco. The only thing I didn't like about that first scene, though, you don't see anybody inside the cars. So there's no sense of urgency, because you don't actually see it. Well, I mean, I don't like seeing people die, but when you're watching a movie, a disaster movie, that's what you see. Like 2012, you see people dying on camera, but it's not really people, though. It's CGI people. They could have probably put some CGI people in there. I think, don't you guys think? I don't know. I thought maybe. And it's the end of the world, and they have to figure out how to stop these oversized giant monsters. Kaiju meaning giant beast in Japanese, and then they don't know what's happening. They think, okay, they destroy the first one, they take them down, and when they hit San Francisco, and then all of a sudden they realize that, okay, there's going to be more, and it's it's kind of like an earthquake or a tornado, or like a tsunami hitting. Imagine if people of a tsunami hit, let's say Long Beach, or Malibu, or places like that, and it was hitting every 2 hours, and then later on it was hitting every 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, so we would have a tsunami every 5 minutes. And that's what this movie kind of emphasizes, like from a disaster standpoint and from real life, really forces of nature. That's what kaiju are on this movie, a force of nature. There's no rhyme, no reason for them. They're just there to destroy the movie talks about the kaiju are there. The first they're done in categories. Like the first kaiju, category 1, right, hit San Francisco. He's there to eliminate us, the vermin. And after that, we start seeing a different. These kaijus are adapting to our technology, adapting to our attacks. So what we do. What would America do if a giant 500, 400 foot tall monster was crushing Seattle or Hong Kong or Japan, well, they would make robots. Don't you guys think? I don't know. I think so. I guess. And so what humanity decides to put away old rivalries. They take away old segregation, and kind of brings humanity together. So they decide to build monsters of their own, and the Jaegers are born, and it's the German word for hunter. And those of us that are children at heart, or those of us that are that love Godzilla movies, I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and love this movie. Who love Gundam or Robotech or something like that, or in America it was known as Tranzor Z for me, and those of us that love those kind of movies, and honestly there's not really a whole lot of movies about mecha robots going on in America except for Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and basically Guillermo del Toro, he explores that realm, and he decides, look, if I was to pilot a giant robot, would I be able to do it myself? Probably not. It'd probably be just me trying to get behind the wheel of a car. So basically, right, people, if I got behind the wheel of a car, I'd probably kill myself or somebody else because I drive crazy. But it would take two people to pilot something. Honestly, the size of these robots on this movie, 350-foot robots, I would think it would be more than two pilots. But it takes two pilots, and they have to have a unique bond, a neural lobe. They say the better the bond, the brain coexists with another brain, and they become one, the better the Jaeger fights. And this movie right here really explores that. A lot of people said this movie was very Saturday morning cartoon style. I mean, who cares? It was awesome. I mean, visually stunning. And so they basically say that that's what it would take to pilot a robot. And basically, a kaiju hits, let's say Los Angeles. They're there to do whatever they're called to do. They don't really explain the aliens too much. We see them in some shots of the movie, but all we know is they go around, they swarm around different dimensions, consuming the resources. And this movie says that they had a test run during the Stone Age with the dinosaurs, and but it wasn't sufficient enough for them, so they decided to wait some 1,000 billion years later to attack our world. And this movie basically does what no other kaiju movie has done, in my opinion, and it tries to bring the real world. And let's just say if there was a kaiju attack, what would happen? A lot of people would probably die. A lot of cities, the countryside would be destroyed probably, right? And you would see it on CNN. You would see it on Larry King Live. And that's what I like about this movie also is the humanism level of the movie, like the way, and then also the sense of family, like with Idris Elba, for instance, and the Japanese actress on here, and I'm not very familiar with her work, but I'm sure we'll see a lot more of her. And she the little girl playing her, by the way, was really good, and as a younger Mako, and she basically creates a bond with Idris Elba on this movie, and him being the commander of the Citadel, and that's what I like about this movie. There's a lot of good drama on this movie. They can actually stuff drama inside of a movie like this. I mean, that's nothing short of spectacular, because it's like she's alone. Her family dies from the kaiju attack, and basically he takes her as his daughter, because his goal in life is to stop what's happening, to cancel the apocalypse. And he puts aside, they kind of give you an idea. He puts aside his own life to destroy the kaiju, to find out what they could do to stop this from happening, continue happening, because it's an ongoing event. And then Charlie Day plays a goofy doctor, basically. And then I just barely saw his. I've seen some of his work in Horrible Bosses, so he's. I love his attitude on this way. I love the way he presented himself. Basically, he's a geek, okay, and then the other guy is even more of a geek. So it's not going to work. And so the other. Imagine if you were a geek, and then you had a guy that was just a little bit more of a geek than you are. That's basically what these two bring to the screen. They bring the technology, the biology, science side of this movie, and they also make you laugh. They make you laugh. I mean, these guys are funny, you know. So Charlie Day, I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him because he's definitely I could see this guy doing more comedic roles, and Idris Elba also playing the one of the main characters on this movie. His he's right now he's really doing pretty well for himself. I've seen him in other movies, you know, and I think he's really an actor on the rise, and I think he's going to has a really promising future, including Charlie Hunnam. You guys know from Sons of Anarchy, he plays Riley on this movie, and he's connected to his brother when a kaiju known as Knifehead takes his brother out right there when he's still talking to him, and he dies in front of him. And he's kind of what's happening to him. He doesn't want anybody else's death on his hands. He's still nursing his wounds from losing his brother, and and that you guys know that opening scene kind of. If you guys seen the suits they're wearing, the beginning of the movie, they look like a lot from Star Wars. Okay, like I was gonna see Darth Vader show up or something like that. You know what I mean? But that's another movie. And he's trying to get away from his guilt. You know, he imagine seeing somebody die in front of you, and then you're connected to them. Your brain is connected to their brain. You're feeling their thoughts at the same moment. That's what happens to him. So it's twice as tragic for him, you know. And he's called to pilot the Gypsy Danger. You know, another thing I thought was kind of kooky about this movie is some of the names of the Jaegers. Well, actually, most of them are actually kind of cool. But this one, Gypsy Danger, I have no clue what Guillermo del Toro was thinking when he named Gypsy Danger. Gypsy. What comes to your mind when you guys think of Gypsy Danger? But thanks to this movie, Gypsy Danger is going to be a 350-foot robot that kicks some serious booty. And so he's the only one that's able to pilot this robot, which is analog. You know, he's more of an old school. He's beat up a rust bucket of a robot. And then he finds out he has like rarely finds out he has a deep bond with Mako, who lost her parents in the Tokyo attack of a kaiju, and so basically they're a good team. You know, they bond. This movie doesn't have any time for like a love story really, but they kind of give you like maybe a little bit of a clue that there's something can develop between the Mako character and the Rayleigh character. So you know, it's a like I said, the young Japanese girl that came on this movie, I think she did an amazing job. There's not a single bad actor on this movie. I mean, if there is, I would have maybe I could have spotted it or something. But that's what makes a really great movie. That when everybody that's involved in the movie knows how to do, you know, knows how to conjure up a sense of emotion, and knows how to play their part right. And in this movie, everybody does. So. And then, you know, and then you got Ron Perlman, who's already worked with Guillermo del Toro with Hellboy. I mean, that's a killer movie. I love Hellboy. I mean, I think that movie's awesome. And he does it. He kind of plays. He plays like an underground arms dealer kind of guy. You know, he's selling kaiju remains on the black market, basically. So you know, and Hannibal Chow is his name. You know, and so he's kind of he doesn't take a backseat because he lets his presence well, because anything that Ron Perlman comes on, it's going to be done well. the guy's a great actor. He's amazing. You know, this basically the kaiju attacks increase until they decide they have to hit the the bridge basically that are allowing the kaiju to come into our world and you know and destroy the world, right? So they formate a plan to do that, you know, and Charlie Day and the other geek decide to do to bond with the kaiju brain, remain of a kaiju, and basically they don't really explain why though how come end up dying, because maybe the only explanation is that because the kaiju are so big, so enormous, that it's too much for somebody else with a smaller brain like myself. Smaller brain, but anyways, but just kidding. And so we would not be able to handle it. Imagine if I had to I had a CAT scan with the kaiju brain. I don't know if I'd survive it, but that's basically what they're telling you. You know, it's too much. It's like the reason it's too much the pilot of Jaeger. And in this movie, they kind of get the science a little bit. And, you know, there's always inconsistencies in movies like this. But basically, this movie is just one big, huge blowout of action, of awesomeness. I mean, I give this movie a winner. This movie's a winner. I give it a 12, not a 10. This movie's a winner. This movie does not suck. The only thing, like I said, there's some inconsistencies about it here and there, and you know, but you're not going to really notice it because when I went to go see this movie, I didn't go see it in 3D, unfortunately, because you know, I had, you know, you got to pay bills, right? So I seen it, and I was coming out of my seat. I was at the edge of my seat. I was getting up. I was sitting down. I was going backwards like this. You know, I mean, imagine. I don't think I've seen a movie that's done that to me in a long time. Honestly, I can't recall a movie like that. So it's basically the kid in all of us, you know, that love Godzilla, that love Gamera, that even love King Kong. You know, that we want to see something like this, and I'm still waiting for and there's definitely going to be a Pacific Rim 2, but it's going to take some time because Guillermo del Toro is working on other projects, but it's definitely going to happen, people. And I'm sure it's going to be worth the wait, though. But if you guys don't have this movie, and if you guys haven't seen this movie, oh my God, are you serious? I guess, you know, you got to see this movie. If you haven't seen Pacific Rim, you need to see it. It must be seen to be believed. It's been done before with Godzilla, but this is just like it brings the modern kaiju movie mecha robot genre into our age. You know, it's 2015. You know, and we need movies, more movies just like this one. And there is going to be more movies. You know, we just seen Godzilla 2014, and there's going to be a new Godzilla movie coming out next year. There's going to be a new Gamera movie coming out next year also at the same time. I think it's the popularity of the recent Godzilla 2014 and Pacific Rim that people are starting to get at. You know how I told you guys about horror movies? You know, the horror movies like about this stuff. Hey, how are you doing? That kind of stuff. Jump scares, they don't work, they suck. But if I see more movies about kaiju movies, like about giant robots, I'm definitely gonna get paid top dollar to go see them, people. You know, I might go see the next Insidious movie. I'm not sure though, because I actually like Insidious a little bit. And but I want to see more. If you have any comments at all below, if you love kaiju movies, if you love mecha robots, you love Godzilla, whatnot, let me know. I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm your reviewer. And let me know what's your favorite kaiju movie. What did you think of Pacific Rim? Honestly, be honest with me. It's all right. And be honest. Just if you really like it, fine. If you don't like it, it's all right. But I highly recommend And for us, we're definitely going to see another Pacific Rim though. And there's also talk about a Pacific Rim animated cartoon. I don't think I'm going to watch that, people, but maybe you never know. I might, if I have time in my life, to do something like that. But this movie, like I said, is a winner. And be sure to keep an eye on for the next movie. Okay. All right. This is the Cutting Edge Review, and I am your reviewer. Yeah.